welcome to Contemporary Black Voices, where we have a special edition today. Today we're going to be interviewing the Honorable Yolanda T. Huff, Judge of the Court number 12, I think it is, in Bexar County. We're talking to Judge today because the judge has put together a program that is long coming in Bexar County, and I think it's very fitting for us to do this now. Along with myself, I'm Chris Dawkins. I'll be your host for today, and we have Caleb Alexander, who is a New York Times bestselling author. He is also an international expert at politics and African studies. And we also have the lovely Dr. Sharon Michael Chadwell with us today. And together we would like to welcome Judge Huff. Hi, thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Sure.
Thank you for having me.
We'd like to start off and say that you're having a very special event that's going to happen this Saturday. Mm-hmm. And we thought it was very important that we have be able to tell the community about what's going on. And first of all, before we start that, you had started this or put this together with someone else.
Well, I mean, this is something that I've been wanting to do since I became a judge about 6 years ago. Mm-hmm. And so I asked some other people in the community to partner with me, like the NAACP, SACAM, San Antonio Black Lawyers Association, and I tried to loop the spiritual community, Reverend Mitchell from First Baptist Zion on the committee.
And what about Beverly Johnson?
Oh yeah, so that's she is the head of the Justice Committee for NAACP. So Beverly and we really considered the co-host for this event.
Okay, so give us a little bit of what's going to happen on Saturday and how this event came about.
Well, so what's going to happen on Saturday is that we're going to honor every single Black attorney, or even a couple or not even attorneys, so every single Black person that served in any capacity as a judge in Bexar County or San Antonio. I mean, municipal judge, magistrate judge, district judge. It doesn't matter. If you served as a judge for any length of time, you're going to be honored. And I think it's just past due. I think that the community has no idea how many Black judges that we've actually had for Bexar County and San Antonio. And this is like us showcasing. I'm actually to myself calling it the Black judiciary. Like we have a history. It's a little history, but not that long. It goes back up to 1974 when the first Black person, Clarence McGowan, was elected as a judge here, all the way to now the sitting judges that we have now and on the bench. And I want the community to notice. I want people to see that, the youngsters, that representation matters, that, there's a history there. Come and educate yourself and learn about the judges that have served, the Black people that have served as judges.
Now, when I talked to you before, when we were basically setting up this interview, you were talking about how, especially from a Black perspective, that people kind of felt they only knew the judicial system from becoming a part of the system. Yeah. And you wanted them to see something a little bit different, mm-hmm. which was one of the reasons why you wanted to look at this. And you said people don't even come into the courts to really visit, not because maybe they don't want to, but because they think they're not welcome.
Yeah, and that is true. People don't know that they can come up to the court. They can go into any courtroom and they can sit down and listen to the proceedings going on. And that is a law. Courts by law have to be open to the public. Absolutely. And I say this a lot, and people are really surprised at that. Like, no, it is absolute. In fact, if I denied someone from coming into the court, I can get before the ethics board. That is an absolute law that judges, the courtrooms have to be open to the public. But the courts are supported by who? Taxpayers.
Right.
You guys support these programs. These programs, courts are owned by the taxpayers.
Did you have any questions that you wanted to ask at this time?
Wasn't there a restriction, though, during COVID that only the person who was up up before the judge could be in the courtroom?
Well, I mean, so OCA is the Office of Court Administrations for the state of Texas. They're housed in Austin. They're over every last court in the state of Texas. Okay. Now, so we had to pivot. How do we keep these courts moving and people's cases moving? And COVID, everything is shut down. So they gave every judge in the state of Texas a YouTube channel. And that's how came like Judge Boyd, that's how the YouTube channels came around. So we can have court now on YouTube, and those in the people in the community can look at our YouTube
Oh,
channel.
okay,
That's
okay.
how that came. So every time we would be open for court, we had to be live on YouTube, satisfying that law that courts still have to be open to the community.
Okay.
That's how we got those YouTube channels.
There are a couple attorneys that you're going to be honoring as well. Normally, I shouldn't say normally because this is the first one you've ever done, but you're honoring mainly judges and people in judicial.
Yeah.
But you've also got two attorneys, I think, that you're going to. Can you talk a little bit about them and why you decided to single them out to get awards?
Yeah, so I'm going to honor two of the attorneys. Lisa Tatum, she's the first African-American black young lady, black person to be the president of the State Bar of Texas.
Wow, that's
We've
big.
never had an African-American, not since or not before. She's the only one. And that was in 2013, I think, that Lisa is there. And people don't understand what a tremendous honor that is. You actually get a staff, you get like I wouldn't say salary, but you do have like a budget that goes along with that, and you travel, you represent the state of Texas, and that it is like campaigning, because that person is campaigning for to be state president of the state bar for all the attorneys, and say they have to campaign all over the state of Texas for that position.
Why should the general public care about that position? That we have a black person in that position?
Because it all revolves back around to me to representation. I take pride in that I've known Lisa for years, and the fact that she achieved that, never having a black person as the state bar since or before. I take such immense pride that Lisa did that. She did that. And the hard work, I know the hard work it takes to, I'm an elected official, so campaigning for anything is hard work, but her going all over the state of Texas to get votes to become the state, be elected president of the state bar, that was a tremendous achievement. Now we have, the other one is Hattie Briscoe. So we all know, Attorney Hattie Briscoe, that first black woman to graduate from St. Mary, graduated number 1 in her class.
Wow.
Practiced here by herself as the only black woman for many, I think it was well over 25 years, right? She graduated number 1 in her class, but no law firm would hire her. So she had to open up her own law office, right? And just herself, a solo practitioner. Can you imagine that? Graduating number 1 in your class in
And can't get a job.
1957 and can't get a job. No law firm would hire her.
We're going to take a break here, and when we come back, we're going to want to talk about some of the things that lawyers go through as practicing in really any place in the country, because our program services all over the country and around the world, and we want to talk about how lawyers and judges, how that pertains to the everyday citizen. So we'll talk about that when we come back.
Okay.
Okay? We'll be right back.